Picture this. You throw the most incredible party to impress your boss, pulling out all the stops, fancy food, fireworks, the works. You're sure it'll lock in that promotion, but the next day, you're not promoted, you're fired, or worse, thrown in jail. That's exactly what happened to one man who broke the first law of power. Today, we're diving into Law 1. Never outshine the master. It's about keeping the people above you, your boss, mentor, or anyone with power, feeling like the star of the show so you can rise without stepping on their ego. This law is crucial because one wrong move, one moment of stealing the spotlight, can ruin your career or relationships. But get it right, and you'll climb the ladder faster than you ever thought possible. I'm going to share two stories, one of a guy who got it horribly wrong and paid the ultimate price, and another who nailed it and won big. Then, we'll break down how you can use this law in your own life. Let's start with a cautionary tale from 17th century France. Meet Nicolas Fouquet, the finance minister for King Louis XIV, the Sun King of France, in 1661. Louis was young, ambitious, and loved being the center of attention. Fouquet, he was rich, charming, and a bit of a show-off. He wanted to impress Louis and snag the role of prime minister after the old one died. So, Fouquet throws the party of the century at his stunning chateau, Vaux-le-Vicomte. We're talking a 7-course feast with dishes no one's ever seen, a play written by Molière himself, dazzling fireworks, and gardens that made jaws drop. Europe's elite were there, and Fouquet was beaming, thinking, this'll seal the deal with Louis. But Louis, he wasn't impressed. He was furious. See, Louis called himself the Sun King because he had to be the brightest light in the room. Fouquet's party screamed, I'm richer, cooler, and more cultured than you. It made Louis feel small. The very next day, Louis had Fouquet arrested on fake charges of stealing from the treasury. Fouquet was tried, convicted, and spent the rest of his life in a solitary prison cell, all because he outshone the king. The lesson? Never make your master feel less than you, or their ego will crush you. Now let's look at someone who played this law perfectly and reaped the rewards. Fast forward to 1610 and meet Galileo, the brilliant Italian astronomer. Back then, scientists like Galileo needed rich patrons to fund their work. Galileo was hustling, trying to secure support from the powerful Medici family, one of the biggest names in Italy. Galileo makes a huge discovery, the 4 moons of Jupiter. But instead of just publishing it or spreading it around, he does something genius. He dedicates the discovery to the Medicis. He writes that these moons orbit Jupiter, just like the 4 Medici brothers orbit their family's founder, Cosimo I. He even designs a fancy emblem with Jupiter and the moons to make it official. This wasn't just science, it was flattery on steroids. Galileo made the Medicis feel like cosmic royalty, tying his brilliance to their glory. He didn't say, "Look at me." He said, "Look at how great you are." The Medicis ate it up. Cosimo II, the head of the family, named Galileo his official court philosopher with a full salary. No more scraping by for funding. Galileo's lesson? Make your master shine, and they'll lift you up with them. So, why did Fouquet fail while Galileo won? Let's break it down. Fouquet's mistake was thinking his flashy party would win Louis over. Instead, it screamed, "I'm better than you," and Louis's ego couldn't handle it. Galileo, on the other hand, used his discovery to make the Medicis feel like gods. He didn't outshine them, he made them the stars. The heart of Law 1 is this: people in power need to feel superior. If you outshine them, Whether it's your brains, charm, or success, they'll see you as a threat. Your job is to boost their ego while quietly advancing your own goals. This isn't just for kings and scientists. Think about your boss, teacher, or even a mentor. If you make them look good, they'll trust you and open doors. But steal their thunder, you're asking for trouble. So, how do you pull this off without dimming your own light? Here's the playbook. First, understand this. Everyone's got insecurities, especially those in charge. Your talent, wit, or charm can make them feel less special, even if you don't mean it. That's why outshining your master is the biggest mistake you can make. Even if they like you, don't get cocky. Take Sen no Rikyu, a tea master in 16th century Japan. He was the emperor's favorite, but when he built a statue of himself, it screamed arrogance. The emperor had him killed. Favor doesn't protect you if you cross that line. Here's how to nail Law 1. Flatter subtly. Don't gush. Say their advice inspired your latest win. Make it believable. Give them credit. Got a great idea? Say it came from their suggestion, even if it didn't. Tone it down. If you're naturally charming or funny, dial it back around the boss so they don't feel dull. Act a bit naive. Ask for their guidance, even on stuff you know. It makes them feel smart, and you look humble. Imagine you're in a meeting, and your idea saves the day. Instead of saying, "I came up with this," try, "This builds on what boss's name mentioned last week." They'll love you for it, and you still get the win. Let's wrap this up with why Law 1 is your secret weapon. Law 1. Never outshine the master is all about playing smart with power. Don't let your talents threaten the person above you. Like Galileo, make them the sun, and you'll rise in their light. Like Fouquet, steal their spotlight, and you're done. This law teaches you to balance ambition with humility. It's not about hiding who you are. It's about shining in a way that lifts others up, too. Next time you're with someone in power, a boss, teacher, or even a parent, try this. Give them a subtle compliment or credit for your success. See how they respond. Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Want to know why your friends might betray you faster than your enemies? Stay tuned for Law 2. It's a game changer. Thanks for watching, and remember, in the game of power, the smartest move is letting your master shine.